The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.
Welcome into another in-home edition of the Pulse of Spokane, and today I'm joined by Travis Scott, not to be confused with Houston rapper producer Travis Scott, but the host of the Winding Road podcast, as well as director of marketing for ISM. Travis, how are you doing? It sounds like you may have had a sort of a run-in with COVID yourself. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, I can't be certain, but I'll be anxious to take the antibody test when it becomes more readily available. Just to see.
So is that something that you are planning on doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be good to see and find out. How are things at ISM? How is work for you with everything going on?
It's actually, I was pretty fearful at first because we're a distributor of small miniature filters, valves, fittings, and things like that can be used in a whole host of different applications, from food and beverage. So we work with a lot of breweries and things like that, to medical devices, to small engines and automotive. And the small engine and automotive is a large portion of what we do. So I was a little worried when things started to shut down and things like that. But in fact, it's actually been pretty remarkable in that we were contacted by Ford to help them. They've transitioned into making ventilators, and so we're actually a big part of that project now.
Okay.
So we're helping. We're distributing we're selling them quite a few different parts that go into ventilators and helping with that effort. And so it feels good to be a part of that and help the country out and help Ford build ventilators quickly. And so we've been actually working really hard to get everything lined up. And we have to work with a bunch of different manufacturers to pull that all in. And so we kind of do that legwork, and they work with us, and we can consolidate it and send it all to them. So helps make them more efficient and gets them things more quickly. So that's actually been a plus, I guess, if you want to call it that, in this environment. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, any good news and good work that people are doing, yeah, we'll all take that in stride as a plus. Because it's great to hear that there are a lot of different organizations and entities across the country that have, kind of ceased what their typical business would be, and transitioned into, making masks or ventilators, like you were alluding to. In terms of your actual day-to-day at-home work, has that changed much, knowing that you work remotely, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been working remotely off and on for quite a long time. When I first started at Microsoft in 2011, I was working remotely. And then when I started with ISM in 2000 and probably 15, I think, I work remotely there in Denver, Colorado. And so I manage a team of 7 to 8 people remotely. So for me, life didn't change much, except for when you work from home, your release is going out to places, going to restaurants, going to Home Depot 50 times a week, which I found myself doing a lot, which I still can, but I don't. So that's the challenge, is really having that release of being in the house all the time, that people now are starting to realize that none of us really have it. So, and with a toddler and a new baby, I was actually, I have an office at a co-working place here in Liberty Lake that I was about to move into the week that the governor announced the stay-at-home referendum. And so now that the baby's in full throat and I'm ready to go get into an office and into some quiet. So So I was about to transition right before all this went down.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine that's kind of a little perfect storm of circumstances all converging to best try to make you lose your mind, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as outlets go, is, the Winding Road podcast blog, is that something that you're doing more often to get that sort of release?
In a way, it is. And some of that release, I write on my personal blog, travislscott.com, and that'll
Okay.
be less business focused, and that's more of a release. Um, I'm also in a workshop that Seth Godin puts on called the Creatives Workshop, and that gives me a lot of that release, and that's where I do a lot of writing, and those things end up turning into blogs there. But yeah, I wake up really early every morning, usually about 4:30, and get to my desk and start writing. And a lot of the blog content that comes out on the Winding Road happens early in the morning, and that's kind of my creative quiet time. So it definitely helps.
So what sparked the idea that you wanted to start a podcast, which ended up turning into more of a blog, that you wanted to do that in relation to the work that you do?
Yeah, so I think I've always wanted to find a way to merge my two careers, basically, which used to be corporate recruiting. I was a recruiter at Microsoft for several years, and other companies before that, Comcast and Booking.com. And but I really was drawn to marketing, and I have an MBA in marketing, and really wanted to pursue that. So I eventually did. I changed careers and kind of took the leap. And the more I got into marketing, the more I realized there was a connection between the two, and especially from both a recruiting standpoint. If recruiters and companies were to look at it through more of a marketing lens, I think there's a definite connection there. But also from a candidate perspective, if they were to step back and view their career through a marketing lens, I think it would open up a lot more opportunities and help them understand how things really work behind the scenes a little bit more, and be able to position themselves better to make moves and career changes. And so I've been constantly trying to figure out how can I merge those two things and how can I put them together. And then, there was a lot of buzz about podcasts, and I'm always interested in trying new things and different ways to get my perspectives and the knowledge that I can share out in different ways. And so I tried it and did it. And it's fun. It's interesting. But I think I've always liked writing, and that's where I've kind of gone back to. I still do a podcast, and I'm kind of on a small break right now since the baby was just born, but writing's a lot easier to do with a baby than a podcast.
Yeah.
And so I've gravitated back to writing. I wrote for Microsoft. They had a jobs blog that I wrote for, and I really enjoyed. That was probably the highlight of my time there. And so I really enjoy writing, and so that's where it's gravitated. And I'm kind of in a spot where what I'm putting out now, there is a bit of a plan, and it's organized in a certain way. And eventually, I'm going to go back and pull it into a book, and I'll be writing a book within the next year or so. So it's really the basis and kind of the testing ground for content and ideas that will eventually go into a book.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, that's going to be quite the undertaking, writing a book. Have you ever written or published a book before?
I have not, and it was not even on my radar. It's not something I ever thought I would do. But the more I get into this, the more I feel like I have a good concept and a good idea. And I belong to several communities and groups and mastermind groups that do have people who have written books, and some very successful people as far as the book writing world goes. And so leaning on them, learning a lot from them, and just kind of figuring it out as I go. So it'll be fun. It'll be a challenge, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be awesome. I mean, yeah, it sounds like you're going to have your hands full with a newborn, and then, getting this book written. So, man, best of luck to you with both of those endeavors. I do appreciate you taking the time to come on and kind of share a little bit about what you do and the awesome work that you're doing in the writing and tying it in with your work from home as well. Again, stay safe, and I'm glad that you guys were able to come out on the other end of kind of a scary illness, perhaps the coronavirus itself. So continue to stay safe, and again, best of luck with the newborn and with the book, and hopefully I can talk to you soon down the road when you've got a little bit of an idea how the book's shaping up and when the world is kind of settled back to normal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll probably be marketing the book at some point. That's phase 2 and just as hard as writing it, I've heard. So yeah. Yes, you stay safe as well.
Thank you. Well, best of luck to you, Travis.
Thanks. You too.
Join us at Paint Night, where you release your inner artist, hosting events in Spokane and surrounding areas. We are the party on wheels and can come to your choice of locations. We specialize in private events, corporate team building, and fundraisers. We are the original Paint Night and want you to join in the fun. Check us out at www.paintnight.com, and we always offer $10 off with the code SPOKANE10.
National Barricade and Sign Company is a well-established company founded in 1957. National Barricade has become a well-known business in the Spokane Valley for more than 50 years. Over the years, we have built long-lasting relationships with many cities, counties, and their departments of transportation. Customers come to us because they know they are going to get the best quality service at the best possible price. National Barricade prides itself on getting the job done in a timely manner. We know that contractors must have certain items in a timely fashion to get their job done, and if we don't have it, we will get it. We guarantee fast service no matter how long it takes.
Hi, this is Tim Lane with State Farm with your quick winter tip. One of the most common questions I get is about trees and who's responsible for a fallen tree or branches. The answer comes down to negligence. If your neighbor's tree falls and damages your home, vehicle, or personal property due to a weather-related incident, then your insurance company would cover that as a non-fault loss. If you can prove negligence against your neighbor, city, or county, then they are legally responsible for your damages. If you have any coverage questions or would like a second opinion on your insurance, call my team and I at Tim Lane State Farm at 509-926-5135.
Imagine being ordered to stay home when you have no home to go to. Because of generosity from people like you, Union Gospel Mission is able to provide a place of safety and refuge for men, women, and children who have nowhere else to go. Today, more than ever, the vulnerable in our community need your help. Thank you for your generous tax-deductible gift in their time of need.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.